Hello, and welcome back to What We Pod in the Shadows, where we are currently discussing season 4 of What We Do in the Shadows. I'm Raven, my pronouns are they, them.
I'm Alison, and my pronouns are she, her.
This week we are discussing the episode The Wedding. But before we get into that, just a reminder too, if you haven't already, to hit all those buttons for us. Like, subscribe, comment, review, etc. And if you leave us a review, we might even read it on the show.
Also, check out our other podcast, Mojo Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, where we are alternating between discussing seasons of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and the classic Powerpuff Girls. And right now, we are on season 2 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. What is this?
It's called Stardust Crusaders.
I don't quite get that name.
I'm just assuming Star, like Joestar. I don't know where the full Stardust comes from. At least Crusaders, because they're on like a mission, makes sense.
We're not even going into space.
Yeah. And then Jotaro's stand is Star Platinum. I would say he turned some people's bones into dust.
Anyway, we're on the Stardust Crusaders season. We're almost at the end, I think, although the stand users just keep coming. Just when you think.
That's just how part 3 is.
You went through all of them. They introduced 9 more or something.
Yeah. Sometimes we talk about vampires on there too. And their minions.
Yes. Or cute little butt-kicking Powerpuff Girls. Okay, so we are on season 4, episode 6 of What We Do in the Shadows, and this episode is called The Wedding. This is like a really long, complicated episode, kind of. There's just a lot happened. Nandor thinks that people are against him marrying Marwa. Nandor hasn't slept in a week, thinking of more things for the wedding, and either has Guillermo. I guess because he's just there for moral support, or he kind of has to, make these things happen for Nandor.
A little of both, I think, yeah.
Marwa wants to change the flowers from black and red to white and pink, and Nandor complains even the bride is trying to sabotage the wedding. Guillermo says he's imagining it. Lazo suggests they invite Sean and Charmaine to the all-vampire wedding. Guillermo implores Nandor to use some of his wishes because some of the stuff he wants for the wedding are impossible, such as a live dodo bird to roast for the wraiths. Also, he wants the Baron to officiate, but he's still like a burnt torso. Nandor... this is back to the dodo. Nandor is adamant about the dodo because they are slow and plentiful. And Guillermo shrieks, "Not since 1681!" I also am frustrated on Guillermo's behalf.
I feel like every episode I'm frustrated on Guillermo's behalf.
And I don't know that anyone is necessarily against Nandor marrying Marwa. I just don't know that they are... I might have said this before, but it's just like... He kind of eliminated everyone else, and she was just what was left.
Yes.
I'm just not sure they're a great match. And he just doesn't seem happy or delighted with her. He even wants to spend time with her, so...
Yeah, he's just always like, cool, I get to brush her off. Shoo, Marwa.
I mean, I think some people do get married just because they want the wedding part. They want this big party, this big celebration, and they're not really thinking about what actually being married means. But yeah. Anyway.
So after Nandor leaves, Guillermo slams the door and he throws a very justified fit. Meanwhile, Nadja and the guide discuss attracting rich humans to eat when they hear the ruckus. Guillermo has trashed the room. Nadja is feeling uncharacteristically helpful and offers to take some of the tasks off of Guillermo's hands. The guide merely offers a dodo catching net because for some reason None of them seem to realize that dodos are extinct. We already said he wanted to get the Baron to officiate, so Nadja and the guide decide to go persuade him, while Guillermo goes on a fruitless quest to find a living dodo bird. The Baron is flattered but embarrassed by his eternally charred state and doesn't want to do it. Nadja decides he needs a makeover to feel better about himself, so they take him and the sire on a shopping trip. And then they kind of we have a montage of that, and then at the end of it, they're kind of just like in a pile of clothes together, and they're all just like giggling.
Nandor also tries to choose an outfit when Marwa asks for her long dead parents to attend the wedding. She said, she just always envisioned them being there, which kind of makes sense, but I don't know. Does she realize he has the djinn and is making wishes and stuff?
I genuinely have no clue.
So I don't know how she thinks he's accomplishing this. Because even when he's talking to her, he's like, they're dead.
Yeah.
The djinn says he can't tell Nandor how many wishes he has left, but Nandor wishes Marwa's parents to be alive for the wedding, just for the weekend. Guillermo finds Derek working at a convenience store and invites him to the wedding because he's lonely and seems a bit misguided. Because he's paying rent and stuff, and he has a coffin, but he can't sleep in it. It just seems, I still don't think he gets all the ins and outs.
Poor guy.
Of being a vampire, which I can kind of understand because we saw how Nadja made that. What was her name? Jenna.
Yeah.
And then just kind of shoved her out the door.
Yep.
The guide and Nadja want Nandor to use his wishes for the wedding and call him a bridezilla, but he doesn't even know what Godzilla is. He wishes for the Baron to be restored to his former state, for a live dodo, and for Marwa to like all the stuff he likes. He tries to wish for more, but the djinn says he has finally used all the wishes. Nandor regrets using a bunch of the wishes on frivolous things. So, except for this whole wedding stuff and him trying to find a wife, the idea of him kind of finding a lamp with a djinn in it and his treasures after all this time and having wishes is kind of fun.
Yeah.
And him using it for stupid stuff at first, especially if he thought he had a ton of wishes. I sort of get, but he's still doing it.
Yes.
It's kind of annoying. He's not using it to really improve his life in any way, because half the time he has to undo what he did with, the wish that he made.
Yeah, because he's not thinking clearly before he makes the wish. He's just I want that done.
Could be asking for money, or I don't know. It's dumb stuff.
Yeah.
But the best thing he's done is restoring the Baron. That's really all I can think of out of all of his wishes is actually something decent.
Yeah. Of course, he only did it because he wanted the Baron to officiate, but
yeah, I'm sure he could have somebody else do it, or they could have figured something out with the Baron, but I'm sure Doug Jones was tired of being in a shitty state also.
Yeah.
And actually getting to show his real face and stuff.
Yeah. And get to wear a fun outfit.
Yeah.
There's a brief clip of Laszlo's favorite DIY show, Go Flip Yourself, I guess just to remind you that it exists. It just the placement just felt jarring to me. I almost was don't we have the no commercials version of Hulu? And then I'm wait, it's for Go Flip Yourself, never mind.
Oh, maybe I missed that whole thing. And maybe I did think it was a real commercial. I think maybe I did because I was yeah, wait, why are we seeing this?
Yeah.
And I was well, because I think it does say, for some local things that they might put commercials in there anyway, but...
So, the guide and Nadja hypnotize Sean and Charmaine to not freak out about all the vampires at the wedding and to forget the next day that they even attended the wedding.
Which doesn't even make any sense.
No. Why do you want them there so bad if you don't even want them to remember? And also, you're risking them getting eaten. Nandor is increasingly paranoid and agitated, but Guillermo reassures him that it's okay to be afraid and that he'll be there for Nandor. Sean and Charmaine mingle with the vampire guests, and Guillermo announces the newly restored Baron. We get to just see Doug Jones, but he's kind of dressed like Dracula in the Francis Ford Coppola version. The Baron gets to the part of officiating where he asks if there's any objections when Marwa's mom pipes up. She's pissed that Nandor wants to marry Marwa after abandoning her and then bringing her back to life with Jinn magic. Marwa's like, I want to go through with this. Nadja also objects because she thinks Nandor just wants a fancy wedding and doesn't really even want to marry Marwa. Then for an hour, everyone from the guide to Laszlo to Derek to the sire object to the union. Marwa then admits she almost called off the wedding several times, but recently realized she wanted to go through with it because she likes what Nandor likes. A dawning look of horror crosses Nandor's face as he realizes what he's done.
So they don't show the actual ceremony. Both Naja and Laszlo shag the Baron separately. Like, everyone's all, like, attracted to the Baron. Guess I don't totally understand. I know Laszlo did have a thing where he liked old ladies.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm not saying, like, Doug Jones is, like, awful looking or whatever, but he's just not, like, he's kind of skinny and he's not, like, the most handsome vampire, like, I've ever seen.
They're just obsessed with him, though.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, they've put him on a whole other level. Like, he's just really irresistible. I don't know, maybe it's just the vampire part of him or something, is his age or whatever.
Yeah.
Makes him, like...
They even liked him when he was, like, a burnt husk of himself.
Yeah, like, super attractive somehow. He's got some magnetism.
Bro is just that charismatic.
Nandor hasn't decided whether to turn Marwa into a vampire, which, again, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because she will grow old and he won't. The roasted dodo is served. The Jinn presents Nandor with a tiny lamp that gives only 3 wishes, which he's not very appreciative of, and then he's, like, trying to wish for more wishes, and he's like, we can't do that. I mean, he just needs to, like, think about it.
Yes, for, like, more than 10 seconds. Alright, the longest, like, they even, like, thought of, like, how a wish would work was when he wanted to have a bigger dick. And that was it.
And I kind of understood that because they didn't want to be tricked into something else. Like,
applied that much thought to all of his wishes, though.
Yeah, I know. Nadja and Laszlo perform sexual songs, or songs with sexual lyrics. Colin draws a penis on a sleepy Guillermo's forehead. The Jinn reflects on Nandor using his wishes on stupid stuff. The next day, Charmaine finds Sean laying outside with his pants down, but they bicker about what happened the night before.
They seem to think it's CBD gummy related also.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think a CBD gummy is gonna fuck you up that bad.
Yeah, she's like, I can't handle the marijuana. Or, I don't know. I took a gummy and he's like, you can't handle the marijuana. But yeah, the CBD doesn't really do much. You don't get high.
No.
You wouldn't lose memory. I mean, maybe if you ate the whole jar. I don't know.
Maybe. Then you need to get your stomach pumped. And we kind of, like, throughout the reception, we kind of see, like, Nandor is, like, questioning Marwa about, like, her decision to marry him, and she's like, oh, the day before I've realized that I just wanted to do everything you want to do. And so he realizes she's only doing this because of the Jinn wish.
Yeah.
And then further reflecting that Marwa just likes what Nandor likes. She, like, thanks Guillermo for his help and, like, kind of, like, cuddles up to him and, like, kisses him on the cheek repeatedly.
Do you think that's what that was?
I think so. It's because, like, Nandor just represses his fondness for Guillermo or something.
Yeah. I thought for a second they were like, maybe she's attracted to Guillermo, but then, I don't know, he kind of seemed pretty uncomfortable or whatever.
Yeah.
And it didn't seem like that type of affection.
She's just like, you're my best friend.
I mean, not really. I don't know. Like, a lot occurred, like, little things. But really, it didn't move the plot along that much. Again, I think
Yeah.
like the biggest thing was that he restored the Baron. Honestly,
Yeah.
like as far as like the plot and like
I guess also him finally running out of wishes.
yeah, although he has like three more, but
Yeah.
sure, it seems like they could pass the lamp around and then each person would have a bunch of wishes.
Yeah.
Although I'd probably be scared like if it was in like Laszlo's hands or something.
Absolutely.
So I'm not sure why they haven't thought of that. They just never really made Marwa like a full-fledged character or a fully fleshed out character.
Mm-mm.
You know, they Charmaine. It might have been when they were protesting them getting married. Like she's like, "Well, how come you've never come over?" And
You should buy cookies from me.
yeah, so it was like, and I mean, I don't totally remember what happens to Marwa, but I just don't think they do much with her even after this. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know how I feel one way or the other about him marrying her. Like, I'm not sure when he had what the 37 wives, like how they were chosen, if it was like because he was a leader, like if he just picked people out that he liked and like forced them to marry him, or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it came about. I'd just rather see him with somebody that he like actually seems to care about and has like stuff in common with. Like really it's just she's from where he's from and that's kind of all they have in common. They just don't care about each other.
Yeah.
Like, I did like that Sean and Charmaine were like super stoked to like meet all the vampires and stuff.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny.
It's like such a small side plot, but it's probably what I enjoyed the most. It's just the Sean and Charmaine stuff.
Yeah. I kind of wish in a way that they just didn't get married and then but they just had a big party anyway. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's kind of weird that they didn't show the ceremony.
Yes.
And I mean after all the people standing up like why they're saying they shouldn't get married. Although like I kind of totally get what Marwa's mom was saying.
Yeah.
But the rest of the stuff, it kind of didn't really make sense for them to like, you should call off the wedding.
Well, maybe Naj's first objection, because she was like, I think you just want to have a big party, basically.
Yeah, and wear a dress, I think she said.
Yeah.
Which I mean, like I said, they could just still had the big party, but maybe not got married.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So it's like the wedding, but we didn't see the wedding. We just kind of saw the build up to the wedding and then we saw the reception, but we didn't.
Yeah.
I don't understand his obsession with the dodo. Could have picked like any other bird, probably.
Yeah. I feel like even if Guillermo had like gotten through to him about that, he probably would have picked another extinct bird and be like, "We'll get some passenger pigeons up in here or something."
Yeah.
And wouldn't have to be like, "Sir, it's been extinct for so long too."
I don't know why he wanted to feed the wraiths. I'm not
Yeah.
even sure I've seen him like even pay them any attention.
I'm not sure if I have either. And it's not like the guide was like insistent, like, my wraiths are coming to the wedding too.
I mean, I know they did come to America like a while ago, but it would have been after if they're saying 1681, right? That would have been after the dodo was already dead, wouldn't it have been?
Probably. I'm not sure. I forget if they said what year it was that they like immigrated to the US.
I thought it was in the 1800s, but
That's what I was thinking, but I'm not 100%.
so yeah, the dodo went extinct in like the 1600s. But like, would they even have the dodo where he was in Alcanador? I mean, I guess I could see people like hunting them and like bringing them back like as a delicacy or something, but he didn't even say they were like super delicious or.
He's just like, they're stupid and they're slow, bring them to me. I'm telling him now, the only dodos he's gonna be seeing anytime soon are the ones in Animal Crossing.
So like they did have Colin and the doll Naja were like the flower girls
Oh,
or whatever.
I missed that.
They had them go down. He was carrying her and they toss the rose petals. So I guess that's really the most. Like, we saw her go down the aisle, right? But then they just didn't show, like, do you take this man? And they didn't.
Yeah. They just went to, like, here's the objections.
And they were just, like, seated, like, for the dinner after. I mean, I guess they didn't have a dinner, but I don't know.
The next one is called the Pine Barrens. Like a location, not like there's barrens of pine.
Yeah,
Title.
I just don't.
I vaguely remember this one, but I couldn't tell you the overall plot.
I don't know if they, like, do they go on a honeymoon? I know it's kind of hard for them to travel, and
Yeah.
or do they just not? Probably the next episode, do they even discuss that the two of them are married? We shall see.
Yeah, we shall see.
And I'd say, possibly the Baron is probably up to frolicking again or something.
Yeah, doing Baron things.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're gonna end our discussion here. Like we said, tune in next episode when we talk about the Pine Barrens. And yeah, we shall see you then. Just don't forget to hit all those buttons for us. Like, follow, subscribe, comment, leave a review, what have you. We might read your review on that even.
And don't forget to check out our other podcast, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mojo JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah.
I'll be alright.
Yeah. So check us out there. Check us out here next episode. And until next time, remember, you're dead and out of this world. Goodbye.
Goodbye.